everyone, how are you guys doing? First of all, I'm just gonna get the obvious out of the way. I did redo my hair again. As you guys may have noticed, and I'm sure if you watched my videos at all for the past couple of weeks, you would have known that I accidentally had my hair dyed black and it was awful. And it was such a bad experience, but I decided to roll with the black for a little bit, but I knew that eventually I needed to get it out because I was not gonna have black hair for the rest of my life, and my roots naturally are a very light brown kind of shade. They're sort of like a sandy blonde almost. They are so incredibly light. And so that contrast against the black was just way too much. And unless I was going to, like I said, either have black hair forever or just subject myself to root touch-ups every 3 weeks, I was going to need to change it. So I went in and I did a complete transformation, and now I'm a redhead, which I feel like times in life we are born with hair colors that we were just not meant to be. I feel like my natural hair color, I just don't feel like it fits my personality. I just do not feel like I was meant to be like a mousy brown hair color. I feel like this is what I was born to be with, and that may sound cheesy or stupid, but I don't care. I feel like of my entire life, I always wanted to be a redhead, and I feel like now that I have it, I'm just like, yes. Like, this is me. I feel so extremely good in this hair color, and I'm so happy. If you guys are wanting to know what she used, because I did try to remember so that I could tell you guys, because I knew that somebody would be wondering, it's from the Paul Mitchell line, and it's from their Shine X line, which is sort of like a demi-permanent color, and I believe it's called 6RB. R like Robert, B like boy. She also used Paul Mitchell color shots in the red and just used about half a vial of that to really give it some intensity. What we did all over is we tried using a color extractor. Let me back up actually to tell you the story. I feel like I have included you guys in much of my hair drama, and it always is sort of like a two-part video because I spend so long talking about this, but I feel like story time, you guys may be interested. So we started by trying to use the Pravana color extractor, which I did tons of research on, and when I went to this new stylist, I told her this is what I want to do. I've seen lots of research on this product, and I know that Guy Tang uses it a lot, and so I really wanted to try that before we tried bleaching my hair. The thing with color removers is that they oxidize the color molecule in the hair, and so the black isn't necessarily gone, it's just kind of reverted to a different color. And so when you use the color extractor, you're supposed to keep it on for about 20 minutes. It does little to no damage to your hair, and then you follow it up with a 10 volume developer to see if it's going to revert back to black, which mine at first didn't, but then when we tried to go in and I had this amazing really blank base to use, I could pretty much go any direction I wanted from that point. I just wanted to go red, and so we tried using a red permanent color on it, and it just reverted straight back to black. There's parts like my roots and stuff and certain splotches that had that really intense red that I was trying to go for, but most of it was black again, which was extremely disappointing because at this point I've been in the salon for about 2 hours, and now we're like, okay, well, we have to start from scratch and we have to bleach your hair, which I did not want to do because obviously that's extremely damaging and I was really worried. But we did use Olaplex, which totally transformed and kept my hair in amazing shape. It's definitely more damaged than it was before, but it doesn't, it still has a good amount of shine. It's not incredibly frizzy, and I did get bangs, which are kind of driving me crazy right now. But like I said, it's not super frizzy. It still is nice and shiny, and I feel like, I didn't lose tons of hair or anything from it. So I was super happy that she used that because it really seemed to keep my hair in pretty decent shape. So we did that, and then after that I kind of had similar to what I had with the color extractor, except there are still parts that were still really, really dark where the color extractor at first seemed to take it all out. And so this result is more of a more intense kind of burgundy red than what I was trying to go for. I was hoping to get more of an auburn kind of a shade, but we didn't want to compromise like the actual, quality and the feeling of my hair. And so the plan is to do this for a bit, and then we'll go back and maybe here in a couple of months go back and use the Pravana and then bleach wash it, or Pravana, why did I say that? Use the Olaplex and then bleach wash it again like we did to try to lighten it again, and then maybe we can eventually get it to more of an auburny shade. She also put in a couple of highlights just to add some dimension to the color, and you can still see that there are spots in the hair that are a bit darker. And to be honest, I don't really hate that because I feel like it kind of adds more movement and more dimension to the hair. I really don't like all over one colors. I like there to be a little bit more to it. So I kind of feel like it just has a bunch of mix of highlights and lowlights, and overall it's very red and I'm very happy with it, but it's still kind of a work in progress to get that really intense dark black color that I had out of it. But this is so much more workable than what I was doing before. I still know that when my roots come in, I don't know what that's going to look like and what that's going to be like, but she tried to, you know, bleach a little bit more and use more of the highlights towards the crown of my head so that when they come out they're not as intense. So we'll see, but overall I just like the color and the feeling of this so much more than the black. I thought that the black was pretty, but I think that this gives my face just a lot more life and it just makes my complexion look better. And then I did get bangs, which I have not had bangs for I don't know, probably like 10 plus years. I can't even tell you the last time my hair wasn't like all just one length. So it feels super weird. I have to YouTube how to style them because I have, like said, I just haven't had them in so long that I completely forget how you do them. And so today I just kind of let them go and they're just kind of doing their own thing, which I don't know if that looks bad or if it looks good or what, but yeah, I'm really, really excited. I feel like transformed. And I actually, if you guys watch the Bethany Faye here on YouTube, I kind of feel one with her right now because she has this amazing, like her hair is beyond gorgeous. I've been so hair jealous of her for, I mean, since I started watching her, which was at least a year or two back. And so I kind of feel like I'm having a little bit of a her moment, which I want to be her. So I'm very, very happy with that. And if you guys don't know her, go check her out. She's amazing. You'll totally get what I'm saying. She has just amazing hair. But regardless, let's get into what this video is actually about, which is my November favorites. Coincidentally, quite a bit of this stuff, well, not really. I would say maybe half of this stuff is stuff that over the past couple of months I've received from BoxyCharms, and this isn't at all a sponsored, or BoxyCharm didn't talk to me at all about this video. It's just legitimately stuff that I've been really liking that I haven't really told you guys about and followed up with you guys on. And so some of these products are products that I seriously use every single day. And just because they came from a BoxyCharm doesn't mean that I'm sponsored at all. These are products that I would buy full price or purchase from the actual company's website. So let's jump on into it. I'm going to start with some makeup-y bits. The first product is a product that I'm wearing today. This is the Sugar Bomb blush from Benefit. I have had this blush for a super, super long time. I went through a phase where I absolutely loved it, went through a phase where I hated it, and now I'm back to loving it. It's a very frosty, very shimmery, kind of like pinky, rosy sort of a color. Ooh, bangs in the way. It adds kind of like a really nice natural highlight. And so what I've been liking to use this for is just days where I don't feel like separately highlighting and everything, because it is such a shimmery kind of product that it naturally has that in there. It's not chunky glittery, it's just very sheeny. And for a while there, I was totally against that. I wanted nothing but matte, matte, matte all over my face. So I was not into this at all. But now that highlighting and strobing and having more of a glow to your face is kind of in, I've been really liking that color, and I've just been liking the entire thing. So I've been using that a lot and I'm a huge fan of it. I think that if you're just somebody who doesn't want to highlight and contour separately, no, I shouldn't say highlight and contour. If you're somebody who doesn't like to highlight separately and you just kind of want a one and done product, that's a really another makeup-y bit that I've been really liking, which I received from Mimi Box, but I'm not at all again sponsored or paid to say this or anything. This is their eyeliner. It's called I'm Eyeliner. Very, very self-explanatory, obviously, but you can buy this from the Mimi Box website, and there are so many different reasons why I love this. This is just in the black shade. It's a really, really nice, really intense, dark color. You get a really nice, you know, smooth color payoff. It is waterproof, I believe, so it lasts really, really well in the waterline, and I have it up in my tight line today. The thing I like about this so much is honestly the packaging. The product itself is wonderful, but you know, black eyeliner is black eyeliner. I feel like it's very comparable to many of the products that I've tried, but the actual design of this is just genius. So it is retractable, so you can kind of just twist it up, twist it back down, which is super convenient because I'm just not somebody who likes to sharpen things all the time. The end of it has an actual angled brush. This isn't just like a black smudgy rubber piece. This is an actual brush, which is Pretty good. I mean, I feel like what's so nice about this is that you can actually use this brush to kind of wing it out, which typically with pencil format eyeliners you can't do. And so I love that part of it. And then you can pull this out again and you have a sharpener. So if you are somebody who likes to have a super precise point to your eyeliner, you can do that. Even though it is retractable, if you don't like the roundness of it or if it gets too flat for you, you can sharpen just the actual eyeliner itself to make it more pointy. So I feel like the packaging of this is just genius. It has absolutely everything that I want packaging wise. It feels really good. I mean, it just feels more high end. And I just want all of my eyeliners to be packaged this way because it's so freaking convenient and there's just no flaw to it. It's just absolutely wonderful. Like I said, the formulation is great, very, very smudge proof. It does give you a little bit of time to kind of go in there and smudge it out, but then once it's on, like that sucker is on. So super, super happy with this and I would definitely recommend this. A product from Birchbox that I have been, or Birchbox, why did I say that? From BoxyCharm that I've been loving is from Mica Beauty Cosmetics. And this is actually, I forget, I can't even tell you guys which months these came in because I feel like I've had some of these products for so long. But this is sort of, they did like an eyeliner and then they threw in the brush as well. The brush isn't from Mica Beauty, but the eyeliner is. And this is just their gel eyeliner in the shade black. At first I wasn't a huge fan of this. I feel like it kind of faded off, but I feel like the more I use it, the more I really like it. Like for some reason I keep on going back to this. Still a huge fan of my Inglot one, but what I think is so impressive about this formulation is it's so smooth. It's almost like a liquid. So I feel like I get my eyeliner done a lot quicker than this, and with my Inglot one, even though I think that that stuff is amazing, it's very black, very matte. When you're applying it, it seems to almost dry so fast that I find that it will sometimes dry on my brush while I'm going in. And so I get a very splotchy application because in certain spots it's just drying too fast. This stuff doesn't do that. It's just very, I mean, just so creamy and so smooth. And I do have it today on for my winged eyeliner and I love it. I mean there's just a reason I feel like why I keep on going back to it. And then the brush that month's box came with is from Seta, S-E-T-A. I think it's just like their eyeliner brush. I for years have been using either an angled brush or like one of the bent ones. Let's see if I can find one. Something like this. I like this, and for a while I thought that this was it and that this was like the queen of eyeliner brushes until I just tried one that's just like normal, doesn't have the bend. This is so easy. I mean, it's just like painting on your eye. It makes it so simple. I can't really use angled brushes anymore. I find those to be just way too difficult. This is so easy just to drag out and bring back in. If you're somebody who just likes to do, you know, like a cat eye or winged eyeliner a lot, I just really enjoy this brush. I don't feel like it's this particular one that you absolutely need to have, but just a regular, no bend, just straight fine tipped eyeliner brush. I think Real Techniques has one. I just feel like this is so easy and I'm so happy with that. So loving those products. Another makeup product that I've been really liking, and I feel like this is my final one for the makeup-y bits. This is the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Éclat, and I have mine in the shade number 2. I've had this for a really long time, and so now I feel like I'm like, okay, I need to use this because for such a long time there, I was almost scared to use this or use too much of it because it's so extremely expensive. So I wanted to like basically ration it. But now that I've had it for a while and I realized like I kind of did that to such an extreme that I stopped using it altogether, I've decided to pull it back out. And what I've been loving so much about this stuff is I still feel like it's ridiculously expensive and it doesn't do anything fancy enough to your face to a point where I would really warrant purchasing it again. But for me right now, my under eyes on just my entire eye area, even my eyelids, are so extremely dry that normal concealers have just been a bit too thick and just, I don't know what it is, but they've just been accentuating so much of my dryness. And so I've been going in and I've just been using this. This is a very thin, very watery consistency. So I don't feel like it has enough pigment and enough product in it to really catch on dry spots. So I've been liking, and I have this on today for my under eye concealer, I've just been liking to use that for concealer. Obviously for spots and stuff that's a little bit different, but for under the eyes, I feel like this has been working really well. It by no means gives you insane coverage. It's very, very light. It's meant to be bright and highlighting, and I feel like it does really reflect the area under my eyes well enough where I feel like I just get a really brightened look. Not so much tons of coverage, but it just looks very bright, which I can deal with. So I really do like this stuff, and I have to mention it as a favorite just because I've been using it so much and I am really impressed with it. I think that you can get a similar product. I mean, L'Oreal has one of these, Maybelline does. I feel like you can get a similar enough product at the drugstore. I don't know if you need to spend this much money on this, but it is nice to have. It feels very luxurious and I do like using it, but just the overall concept has more so been what I've been enjoying about this. I want to talk about some skincare. The first thing that I have here is a moisturizer, which, I mean, you guys can just tell how much I've been using this. This is from Previce, and this is the Hydro Milk Skin Moisturizer. This came, again, in a BoxyCharm. I am so just freaking in love with this, and I love this way more than I thought I would have. I'm so skeptical about skincare that comes in monthly subscription boxes. I always have been, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just in my mind. I think, you know, if they're throwing it in here and the whole box is like 20 bucks, but it says it's a $60 moisturizer, like how good is it actually? But I decided to actually stick to this stuff and try using it because, first of all, the scent is just like totally intoxicating. Ugh, it just smells kind of like Aveda products. It has just a very spa-like quality to it, and so I think that that's what kept me coming back to it. I know that it has lavender in it as well, and if you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I am a lavender whore. I absolutely love anything that's lavender scented, even lavender flavored. I love lavender. Like, I want to bask myself in it, and so I feel like that's kind of what kept me using this product. But I started to find that the more I use this, the more the actual quality of my skin seemed to improve. I just feel like it adds the perfect amount of moisture for me right now. It's a moisturizer that I feel like I could use year round because while it is very intense and very moisturizing, it doesn't feel that way on the skin. Like it doesn't feel super thick, and it's not one of those moisturizers that leaves your face greasy. It absorbs really quick, but when you go in and you touch your skin, it just feels so plump and so moisturized, and I love that because it works so well under makeup. So I've been using this daytime for weeks and weeks and weeks. I've been using nothing else during the day but this because I feel like this stuff just works so well. My skin tone just seems so even. It just feels so good. It does not cause me one bit at all to break out, and overall I just feel like whatever is in here is just really, really working well for my skin. I like that it is more kind of a natural based product because obviously the less chemicals and stuff that you can put on your skin, it seems like it's kind of more better for it. But yeah, I've been loving this. I love using it down my neck. I just feel like it is a great product. It doesn't contain any sunscreen, so if that's kind of a concern of yours, you will need to layer something else either with it or on top of it. But for me, where I live, we don't get enough sun where I'm actually like outside in it, so this has been working great. I've also been loving a cleanser, which I purchased on my own. If you watched a Sephora haul I did a while back, and I don't even remember how far it was, you might have seen this. This is the Nude Purify Cleansing Wash. When I first got this, I hated it. Like, I did not use this at all because I just didn't get the point of it. It's sulfate free, and so it doesn't really foam, and I think I tried using it at night first, and it just wasn't removing any of my makeup. My skin didn't feel clean. It just felt like sort of clean, like halfway there, but it didn't really ever feel like the total feeling that at night I want my skin to be before I go on and put on my serums and everything. And so I just sort of stuck it aside because I just wasn't very impressed with it. Eventually though, I started to pull it out again because I was like, okay, you spent a lot of money on this, you need to use it somehow. So I switched, and instead of using more of an exfoliating scrub, which is typically what I do in the mornings, I started to use this, and I have been really impressed with it. I kind of switch on and off between this and a scrub still because I really want that manual exfoliation, but this stuff for the morning I feel like is great because, you know, obviously I go to bed, my skin is already clean. When I wake up, I just kind of want to refresh it, kind of take off any of the oils that might have accumulated overnight, but I'm not trying to take off, you know, mascara, eyebrows, foundation, dirt, all that stuff that I've collected over the day. So this stuff is great for the morning. It still doesn't foam up tons unless you have like a ton of water on your face. I notice if I use this in the shower, it seems to foam up more, but just like the way that this makes my skin feel in the morning because it feels cleansed without feeling overly stripped. Because I just feel like it's unnecessary to clean your face the same way you do morning and night, because at night you're just trying to take off so much more than you are in the morning, and I feel like if you use the same method both times, in the morning your face is just going to get so stripped, and I feel like overall your skin is just going to get a lot more dry. And so this doesn't seem to do that to my skin. Again, this is a very like natural, organic kind of a product. You can get it off of Sephora. It claims to balance and remove excess oil without drying the skin. So overall, if you're somebody who maybe you don't wear tons of makeup, I think you'll really like this. But if you're just looking for something to use in the mornings, I think that this is perfect. Or if you're just somebody that in general doesn't need your cleanser to take off like a full beat face, then this is really good. Final bit for skincare, this is from My Body, and it's the Glow Biotics Probiotic Instant Resurfacing Pads. See if that'll pick up. It's kind of hard to show that label because it's kind of translucent. This is a weekly kind of face and neck treatment. It says that it instantly creates the appearance of more youthful skin, fewer fine lines, wrinkles, and pores. Use AM or PM 2 to 4 times a week. Apply on clean, dry skin. Do not rinse. I got this from lovelyskin.com. They did send it to me. Again, not sponsored at all. I feel kind of bad because I feel like a lot of these favorites are products that I did not purchase, but that's not intentional. These are actual products that I've just been really liking. These are, and it comes with 45 of them, just very, very thin little pads that are really, really well soaked in product. I was nervous when I got these because obviously the container here is so large for the actual size of the pads, and there's just nothing really to keep the moisture in. These stay super, super moist. I've been using these now for 2 weeks and they have not dried out on me one bit. Now, maybe by the time I get to the end of the package, I will notice a little bit of dryness, and I can't speak to that now, but I'm hoping that that doesn't happen. And if it happens drastically, I will come back and let you guys know. But so far, they've extremely, extremely moist, almost too moist. Like I feel like when I put them on, I sometimes get a little bit too much of the product on my skin, or I have too much left over. But these are sort of, you guys know that I sing the praises of chemical exfoliants all the time. That's kind of just what these are. But what I think is just so nice about these is that they're so much more convenient than having like your chemical exfoliant and then your, you know, cotton wool or your cotton pads or whatever, and then having to dump it on there. It's just more steps. Obviously, being able just to unscrew a jar and then have it already all in one is much more convenient. These I just think are a little bit more intense than like the Paula's Choice one, which I usually use. Again, these are for 2 to 4 times a week. I am a person that has very sensitive skin, so for me to be able to use these and not get like an extreme rash or like super red skin is kind of a miracle. So I feel like they are very, very gentle. I use mine kind of like on a every 2-day kind of basis. So I used mine last night, and last night was Saturday, so I probably won't use these again until Tuesday. And that's kind of the routine that I tend to go on. These make my skin feel so smooth and just so soft, and I feel like they dramatically reduce the amount of breakouts that I get. Similar to all my other chemical exfoliants, I just feel like these are like more beefy, like they just work a little bit harder and they just work a little bit faster. So if you kind of are looking for those results from a chemical exfoliator, but you just want it to come a little bit more quickly, because typically results from those can take like around a month, then these are perfect. But that is it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this favorites video. Let me know, of course, what you've been loving for the month, and if you've tried any of these products, what your thoughts are, and I will talk to you guys all next time. Bye-bye.